and welcome to the latest edition of FTT Chats. I'm Laura Camperson, Product and Content Manager here at FinTech Talents. And today I'm delighted to be chatting with Christophe Langlois, Global Marketing Lead for FinTech and Developer Ecosystem at Finastra. So welcome, Christophe. And in true FTT Chats tradition, I would like to ask you to start by just telling us a little bit about yourself and about your role at Finastra, if that's okay.
Would be my pleasure. Thank you very much, Laura, for the opportunity. And again, first of all, congratulations. You pronounced my last name very, very well. So Christophe Langlois, 20 years experience in financial services and technology. I've been recognized as a top fintech influencer since 2007. And I joined Finastra relatively recently, 4 months ago, as the global marketing lead for our fintech and developer ecosystem, as you just said. And why did I join Finastra? First of all, the commitment to open. We are open in everything we do, from the open culture, which is all about transparency, driving and enabling diversity and inclusion. Also open finance, again, transparency, financial inclusion, for instance, and open architecture, which is all about, again, the open platform. And we made a strategic commitment a few years back to lead the platformification of banking.
Fantastic. And would you be able to tell me a little bit more about that, the platformification of banking? It's a fantastic term, but how are you seeing that at the moment in 2021, the platformification of financial services? And what do you think is the role of that concept in driving forward innovation?
Of course, yeah, thank you. Well, we believe it's essential today. It's essential for a number of reasons. One, banks have, for many years, have dealt with their legacy system. Some of them have limitations in terms of providing or, if you wish, augmenting the current user experience they provide. So that's one, legacy systems. Then digital transformation. And the terrible situation we're in had an effect, if you wish, on driving, accelerating digital transformation, which means that more and more banks understand, appreciate that they need to do better. They need to better serve with better customer experiences, their own customers and clients on the likes of digital and mobile. And to do so, they also recognize that they can't do it themselves. They need to be able to tap into the vibrant fintech ecosystem to help them to come and innovate on the user experience level. And that's the platformification of banking. That's why I'm very excited, because again, Finastra has made the commitment to lead that platformification.
Fantastic. And as part of that commitment, you've developed a Fusion Fabric Cloud, as I understand. So could you tell me a little bit more about that platform? You know, what types of tools are available through that, and who's it open to? Is it open to anyone who wants to give it a go, or who uses the platform?
Sure, yeah, no problem, Laura. A few years back, so we launched fusionfabric.cloud, as you said. So that's our open platform to enable the ecosystem of financial services companies, so banks, and also fintechs, to come together, if you wish, and make the most of our solutions by tapping what we call some building blocks, which means anything which enables third parties to make the most of our solutions and our data. So we've got, for instance, like 147 APIs, we've got some SPIs, and we also have some data sets, which are critical components to help, again, not just financial institutions, but also fintech to come on the platform and build apps. In terms of the range of entities we work with, so I already mentioned our own clients, they would themselves take advantage of the platform to build new features, new functionalities. So that's for the bank in terms of open innovation. And also we engage the vast ecosystem of fintechs, small, large ones, and they come to us because, again, the platform is available, the building blocks are quite mature and advanced, the experience we provide to the developer is very appealing, and everything we do is focused on security. And at least 2 ways to make sure the solution is as secure as possible. One, a strategic partnership with Microsoft. We're using their Microsoft Azure cloud solutions. And 2, we partner with Synopsys which is a leading company providing some app risk assessment to make sure, again, that the solution is totally secure. And that's very compelling to banks and to fintechs.
Fantastic. Yes, I can imagine, that would be a very useful platform and offer some opportunities to overcome some of the barriers facing particularly early stage startups in fintech. What about some of the outcomes you've seen so far? Have there been some exciting success stories so far that you're able to share?
Yes, sure. To talk about success story, we need to talk about proof points. And again, the fintech industry is huge, is booming. In the UK, we've got more than 10,000 fintechs as of today. I believe we'll have like 2 or 3 times more by 2030, according to Innovate Finance. And that's just the UK. So the vast majority of fintechs are facing hurdles. One is the brand equity, so creating a brand, which basically make the banks confident in terms of working with them. Then it's also the go-to-market strategy. It's quite hard to reach out to the right institutions, to navigate their way, and then it's harder to drive sales. And the third or fourth, it's integration. Again, that takes time, that takes energy. So as of today, we're working already with a broad range of very exciting and talented fintechs, including, for instance, NetGuardians. They're one of the leaders in payment fraud detection, using sophisticated AI methodologies. Also with Floatboat, which is a provider of conversational AI solutions. So those are just 2 examples. But again, the beauty of a platform is that it will help any third party and any banks to tap into a vast range of banking solutions, from retail banking up to treasury and capital markets. So, and that's very unique with the platform.
Yeah, very much so. I look forward to seeing some of the exciting success stories to come out of that in future. It's fantastic. Now, before we end our chat for today, I'd really like to hear more about your Finastra Universe event that you're running in March, I believe. Can you tell me a little bit more about the structure of the event this year? What kind of content are you planning to put out there, and what are some of the communities that are getting involved with Finastra Universe?
Of course. So if I step back for a second, we just finished our second, I believe, global hackathon, which is called Hack to the Future, aiming to redefine finance for good and inviting people to help us do so. So we had, to give you an idea, more than 4,600 participants from over 100 countries. So just to give you an idea of the scope. And that, thank you. And that give you also an idea of who can come and work with us on the platform. It's not just the big banks, it's not just the big fintechs or smaller fintechs. Virtually any developer could come and take advantage of the platform. So that's the hackathon. From the 2nd of March to the 2nd of April, we'll be hosting our flagship event called, as you said, Finastra Universe. So first of all, it's different this year, as expected. Before, we used to organize the event in 6 or 7 cities all over the world over 2 days. This year, it's obviously 100% virtual. It starts on the 2nd of March to the 2nd of April. So please feel free to register and come to consume the content, not just on the 2nd and 3rd, but the whole month of March. And what you're going to find, and why is it so exciting, it's you're going to hear everything about our journey to open, right? What is it at the core of our strategy, and what does that mean? And you will listen to a vast selection of customers, of fintech partners, with the likes of the fintechs I mentioned previously. And this year, for the first time ever, we also have 2 streams, one dedicated for fintechs, one dedicated for developers. So again, a lot of great content and a good way to being exposed to who we are and what we do in the banking platformification. And of course, come and see us, register, and that's just the start of a conversation and hopefully a partnership.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of virtual, isn't it? Last year, you were in 7 cities, and this year you're reaching unlimited cities around the world with that content. So that's fantastic. I look forward to watching and listening to some of the sessions and some of the content to come out of that. Great. Well, thank you very much, Christophe, for joining me today. It's great to chat to you and hear more about some of the projects and platforms that you're working on at the moment. And thanks everyone for listening. we will see you back for the next episode of FTT Chats. Thank you.
Thank you very much.